We make it cool to be sucked.
It's the home of the Celtics here in Boston as 2K Sports brings you today's action live. Now a chance to check out tonight's. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, here's what the Celtics head coach had to say when we spoke just a few minutes ago. He told me that he's looking forward to this matchup. Their first look at this team so far this season. He said they'll look to play up defensively. As usual, their length and shot blocking a great deterrent inside. Kevin?
Great, Doris. Thank you. It's not too uncommon to have that defensive focus being foremost in the game plan, is it?
Well, that's who they are, Kevin. That's their identity as a ball club. And so every game they start out thinking, let's shut the opponent down.
And not with just any kind of defense, guys. I mean, they want to get up into you. Nose-to-nose, aggressive, in-your-face defense.
Just 2 to shoot. No good from Lucas.
Tell you what, if there's success on the boards in this first quarter is any indication, it's going to be a good day.
And rebounds usually are a good indicator. Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East and middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your shoes and the banners hanging over top.
Enes Kanter's checked in for the Jazz. Hit his foot, and it's being called a kickball. And some changes here for the Celtics. Humphries comes in for Olynyk, and it's Avery Bradley in for Rajon Rondo. Kanter gets a screen from Williams. Here's Hayward. Chris Humphries comes up with the rebound. Humphries has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. Pride certainly a factor last season, as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to ride that home court into the playoffs.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And Rush kicks to Lucas. Clock at 6. Dives for it. Stripped it away. And pushing it up. Here's Boston. Oh, and here's the one-handed jam.
Quick hands on the steal. Quick feet on the break.
Costly mistake to fork that ball over and then not get back on deep.
And no good trying to get that one. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Boston.
The NBA season blast.
Favors dishes to Williams. Passes to Burks. The Jazz working the ball around now. Williams' shot is off.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And that hard work on the boards needs to continue. That could be what swings this game eventually.
And so in the game for the Jazz, pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. Favors is out there with Marvin Williams. And it's Jefferson in at the 3 spot. Shot clock at 3. Goes up the baseline. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Well, look here at last year in the NBA, where the Jazz ranked 5th in blocks, 7th in steals, and they were top 10 in three-point shooting. That's a huge part of their offensive attack.
And I think the thing that jumps out at me is the blocks per game. It just shows how well coached they were defensively. Great rotations. They closed out, and they forced their opponents into tough situations at the hoop. That's how they were able to block so many shots.
Lee gets the bucket.
Nice job again that time to add to their lead. I'll tell you what, they're doing everything right at this moment.
They're playing steadily in all aspects of the game, Steve. You're exactly right. You know, there aren't too many drive and dish point guards out there anymore, but Rondo is the epitome of that type of guard in the NBA. He is always looking to make a move and create space for a teammate, and his assist totals reflect that.
Olynyk the pass to Lee. The offensive rebound. Here's D. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. With this chance, let's show you the league's most intimidating shot-blocking defenses from last season. 5th, the Jazz.
They've got a number of guys that can deny you when you take that ball inside. That's why they're one of the best shot-blocking teams in the league, at least they were last year, because they worked well together and they made it a priority.
Enes Kanter's checked in for the Jazz. Rush comes in for Richard Jefferson. Well, Clark, you talked about Rondo's playmaking. I think Steve and I agree. He's led the league in assists per game the last 2 seasons in that very important category, Steve, and I think that speaks volumes.
It's pretty incredible what Rondo has been able to accomplish in the NBA. Fell to late in the first round to the Celtics back in his draft class, but here he is developing into one of the top point guards in the league.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, guys, the huge trade that really overshadowed this year's draft, the blockbuster deal between the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics sending out the veteran trio of Jason Terry, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, and in return receiving 3 future first-round picks, the right to swap picks in 2017. For the Celtics, a tough but realistic decision to begin the rebuild process. For the Nets, an all-in attempt to win a title. Guys, it sent shockwaves throughout the league, and we'll just have to wait to see how it all shakes out.
They've got probably the best team in franchise history. We'll see where they go next. Here's Rondo. He had 10 points in the win against Memphis.
And he was disruptive defensively, too. Kevin, really aggressively trying to make plays. In fact, he had 4 steals during that game.
Guys, there were a lot of questions about what went wrong for Utah last year as they saw themselves slip from a middle-of-the-pack playoff team to being on the outside looking in at the playoffs. One reason was their play on the road.
So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Celtics lead by 5. Stay right where you are.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports,
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we return a view of the beautiful sky. .46 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Alec Burks checked in for Utah. And so both free throws are good, and it's an 8-point game. Utah comes into this one after the win against the Nets in Brooklyn.
And a lot of their scoring in that win came from unexpected places, from guys who don't typically get a lot of minutes.
And you know what? Those guys on the bench, they practice every day too, even if they don't play every night. And that night, they were ready.
Inside it's Sellinger and Humphries. Rajon Rondo is out there with deep, and it's Green in at the small forward position. That's the Boston 5. So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. There's 31 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Here's Burke. Shot denied. But they recover it. Rondo with the steal. D passes to Rondo. D. Back to Rondo. So we see Boston get the win here. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was. And I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
Everybody get up.
It wasn't a blowout, but you guys got the job done. Did you feel at any point tonight that the game was in doubt?
I thought we played a pretty solid game. They kept it close, but it seemed like we were just one step ahead most of the time. The guys did a really good job of executing when they needed to, and we made sure that we didn't let them get too close there at the end. You know, this is the kind of game that does a lot for your confidence. So good win, good team performance, and let's hope we can keep this type of play up as long as possible.
the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet.